Quazi here, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the most powerful way to accelerate your manifestation, and in particular, getting more clarity on your purpose and why this is so important, and how to really do this, and how I did it for my personal self in the first place. Before I begin this video, I want to quickly announce that I'm doing a free giveaway of my book, Life Mastery. If you want to enroll into a competition to win this book for completely free at the end of the week, just comment Life Mastery down below, and we'll be picking one lucky winner to get this book for free in the ebook format. Also, I'm super excited to announce that the free one-to-one consult for the Reality Mastery program is open, and if you want to learn how to get your free consult, just wait till the end of the video for the announcement on that. And with that, let's get started with this video. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about how to accelerate manifestation. But we're going to be taking a different turn to this. Now, I get a lot of questions about, Quazi, how do you find your purpose? I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what career path I want to go. And, I just don't know what my purpose is, something that'll fulfill me. And while that's great that a lot of people are striving to find their purpose, a lot of people are waking up, people generally go about this the wrong way. So, what I want to share with you before really getting into the nitty-gritty of this video is that great ideas never come from a place of inactivity. Even if, Einstein gets a genius idea from sitting on his couch, it wasn't inactivity. There was always action. Whether this be mental action or, physical action, there was always action. And this was always unhindered action, not like, oh, I don't know this, I don't know that, I don't know my purpose, not affirming that which you don't already have, but rather striving for that which you want. So when a lot of people want to change their current situations, it always begins with resistance. A desire always begins with resistance. And then when you get to, point A is resistance, point B is desire. Eventually, some people are able to switch from resistance to desire. And people who do get to that point of desire become extremely successful. But people generally just keep staying stuck on this resistance. We're going to be talking more about this in the next video, but for now, just understand this. So, great ideas always come from a place of action. Mental action, physical action, whatever it is. So there needs to be a momentum. Even when Einstein is sitting on a couch, doing some mental experiment, he's probably also writing something down. He's just always active. So there's always action going on. In a place of action, great ideas will always flow. Now, what action really does is it creates momentum for you. Okay, this is absolutely crucial. This was life-changing for me when I understood this. Action creates momentum. Why is momentum important? What is momentum? Well, momentum is when you start to do something and you start, the light bulbs turn on, the engine starts moving, and when an object is in motion, it tends to stay in motion until it's stopped. When an object is at rest, it tends to stay at rest. So you always want to be in a state of momentum. And what happens when you're in this momentum is that the effect of action, it compounds over time. When I started my YouTube channel 2 years ago, I'm reaping the rewards of it right now. Me living my dream life right now, I'm reaping the rewards from starting my YouTube channel 2 years ago. I never really thought it would evolve into this. And we're going to be talking about that later in my personal progression of how I was able to find my purpose, the big idea, and set about doing what I love every single day, and why this is very, very possible for you as well. So what action does is it creates clarity. And then clarity in turn creates action. It's a synergistic effect. This is like a reversible equation in science. Whenever you take action, this creates clarity. Whenever you have clarity, you want to take more action. Whenever you want to take more action, you get more clarity. And then you just keep going up and up and up and up. The effect of action compounds. That's the eighth wonder of the world, the compound effect. And, a lot of people get too hung up on taking inspired action. And I'm here to tell you that inspired action is completely bullshit. If you are waiting for inspired action, then you're just a slave to your emotions. Really think about this. If you're waiting for a good emotion to strike so that you can take action and do something you want, it's complete bullshit. Because now you're not controlling your emotions are running you. Do you see how this is working? So don't take inspired action. Take inspiring action. Work on inspiring yourself from within and do whatever's necessary. You might not always feel like taking action. You might feel fear. It just doesn't feel right. My intuition says no. But I'm telling you, I thought so many times that, intuitively I shouldn't get on that call with that client. But every time I did get on a call with a prospective client, it always turned out to be a good experience. There was always growth. And because of that, I am where I am. And I really wanted to emphasize that because I see a lot of people talking about, it just doesn't feel right. If you went with what felt right, you would stay stuck in this current pattern. This is why you're stuck in Groundhog Day, because you're not doing what doesn't feel right. You're being run by your likes and your dislikes. You're a slave to your likes and your dislikes. You're not a master over them. Even though you don't like to do something, you don't expand your comfort zone. And that's why you keep staying stuck. Because how else are you supposed to break free from Groundhog Day if you're in this unconscious cycle of your likes and your dislikes and your emotions are running you, right? The same patterns are going to keep happening in your life. Maybe it's in different areas of your life, but the same patterns are going to keep unfolding in your life because you're being run by your own tendencies. This isn't a conscious thing that's happening. It's an unconscious thing. This is bondage. This isn't freedom. When you're following your feelings and what feels right, what doesn't feel right, then you're just running by your own tendencies. You're being controlled. Instead of taking inspired action, work on taking inspiring action, which really is getting so clear on your dreams and visions that you just do what is necessary regardless of how this character feels within. So for most people, the character is controlling the master. The puppet is controlling the master. It's pulling the strings on the master. The master isn't pulling the strings on the puppet. Once you begin to learn to pull the strings on the puppet, and even though the puppet says, no, I don't want to do this, I don't want to wake up early, I don't want to take that cold shower, you do it anyways. Do it anyways, baby, because that's how it is. You just tell yourself that's how it is. You're the master. You give the orders. This was a big game changer for me. When I started expanding my comfort zone, nothing was ever the same again. The act of expanding your comfort zone is literally like making a bigger sphere for the world. You include more and more of the world in your own sphere. Your experience of the world completely enlarges and covers all aspects. If I could attribute one thing to my personal success and being here where I am today, I would definitely credit it all to expanding my comfort zone. Doing something uncomfortable every single day. Taking that first cold shower in the morning, however little it may be. Cleaning up the weights at the gym. Even though I don't feel like, I don't want to unrack my weights and then put them away. Just do it anyways. Oh, you're uncomfortable washing the dishes? Do it anyways. You're the master. This is training. This effect compounds. This is a mindset. People don't really have business problems. They don't have money problems. They don't have relationship problems. They have life problems that reflect in all of these areas. Two people can go through the exact same course and get completely different results. One person becomes a billionaire, one person just remains the same as he was and gets no results. I actually got on a client who went through that. He told me he went through the same course as the Airbnb founder, and they both went through it at the same time. And the other guy came up with the Airbnb idea, but nothing happened for him. He stayed in his current situation. And that's because the mindset, that this is what was missing. So this is something that needs to be trained. Action and mindset are one and the same reality. That's a synergistic effect as well. Clarity is under mindset. Once you get clarity, your mindset gets more and more clarity. Once you take action, your mindset gets better. Because once you expand your comfort zone, you're training your mind to say, I just do it anyways. There's no overthinking going on. There is no thinkingness. There's just doingness, beingness. I'm aligning with that ideal version of myself, and as a result, the doingness comes. As a result, the havingness follows. Eventually, it will follow. And that's why inspiring action is so much more powerful than inspired action. And just to clarify, inspired action is when you wait for something external to motivate and inspire you to take action. Inspiring action is when you motivate yourself from within because of such a hunger and thirst for that big, big dream you have. When your vision is so large, it literally sparks a fire in you. When you're so clear about your visions and your goals and your dreams, it sparks a fire in you. When your what and why are so dialed in, the how and when just falls into place all on their own. This is why we do this, and I focus on this so much. I hammer this in the Reality Mastery program. People work from the top to the bottom, not the bottom to the top. That's why they always miss out and just, they keep doing all these techniques and meditations and it doesn't work out for them. And this is exactly why I made the Reality Mastery program. And this is exactly why my clients are getting such good results from it. Because we're working from the bottom to the top. So I urge you to do that in your life as well. And a lot of people, when they set about their purpose, they're like, okay, well, what do I do next? What am I really passionate about? And while that's good, they do this from a place of inactivity. Do what's known, man. Just do what's known. Whatever you know right now, do it. Go for it. Because if you're in a place of inactivity, you're losing the benefits of not having momentum. Now, I had a friend who keeps switching things that he wants to do. One day he says, okay, I want to help people overcome their anxieties. Another day he says, I want to go back to my YouTube and start vlogging. He's very successful. He's doing really well. But he just kept jumping from one thing to the other, and he's losing momentum. His focus is in all different places. But instead, if he kept going about one thing, and then if he found out something that he would eventually find something that he's passionate about. Just by doing that one thing, it would come. And that's exactly how it happened for me as well. I focused on one thing, and then it just clicked for me. It all just fell into place, all on its own accord for me. So now, really going back from, great ideas come from action, I just wanted to clarify that this isn't necessarily action in the physical sense only. Visualizing is also action. You're still doing something. Even when Jesus Christ walked on water, he still had to walk on water, right? Even when yogis levitate, they still have to do some mental action. So make sure you understand that. If you don't know what action to take right now, your action could be visualizing. Your action could be, meditating, whatever it is, going to the gym. That's how it started for me. Eventually it will fall into place. Just remind yourself of the dream and the vision. Set goals so big that they spark the genius in you. And, here's my personal story. How I first started off was, I was skinny and bullied. I had crazy social anxiety, but I always had a burning desire to overcome it. Now, people think that desire is bad, and it isn't. Desire is very, very necessary. But desire without intention is completely futile. That's what you don't want. Desire and dreaming by itself is just like sitting on a couch and praying for $1 million to show up at your door. It could happen. It may happen, but it probably won't. Because it doesn't fit the mold of your worldview. If you could really get yourself to believe that would happen, it would. But you can't, because of how we've been conditioned. So, there needs to be intention within that. And intention is movement towards the goal. The desire needs to be transmuted into intention. You have a big desire, big dreams, needs to be transmuted into intention. Intention wouldn't even be there without desire. Desire is the first step to even having intention. Why would you have intention to do something if there wasn't desire, right? So you got to have a good balance of both and know how to transmute this desire into intention. So, how I started off was I was skinny, I was a loser, I was bullied. I was a completely different person from who I am right now. Even when you see me with long hair in some of my previous videos, if you're new to the channel, if you go back, I'll attach one up here. This was maybe 6-7 months ago. I was a completely different person then. You always got to shift into different versions of yourself depending on what is necessary at this point. This is key. So I was a skinny loser and I wanted to impress girls, make friends. Always wanted that. That was always missing in my life. And seriously, if your desires don't get met, you're going to keep coming back. The cycle of karma, it's going to keep playing itself. That's why all your deepest desires need to be fulfilled. If that doesn't happen, there is no freedom for you. And that's why I even teach this manifestation stuff. Because we're here for an earthly experience, a worldly experience. And that's why manifestation comes in and goal achievement comes in so handy to really free yourself from the worldly bounds. And I always thought that, okay, if I go to the gym, build some muscles, then I'll naturally become more confident and I'll become, girls will like me. Yes, if I see some muscles on me, that's what'll happen. That did happen, but not because of the muscles. it was because my self-image and my identity changed. Once I became a little buffer, my own identity changed. So it's not necessary to have the muscles, but rather to change your own identity from within. I always visualize myself becoming a certain person after I go to the gym and build some muscles. And when I saw the muscles, that kicked in for me. Cognitive dissonance, oh, I must have muscles, therefore I must be this person. That's exactly what happened. So other areas of my life started to slowly change. But there was still that deep insecurity within. That's when I got into personal development. I saw that, okay, well, if I can improve at the gym, maybe I can improve my mental state of being as well. Cool. That interested me a lot. So after that, I got into personal development. Started reading books, Think and Grow Rich. Eventually found manifestation, spirituality. That's when I got into spirituality and meditation. Saw that if I can improve myself in the spiritual plane, there's something much deeper than just this physical life. There must be. And that's when the striving began for something much greater than just this current existence. When you realize your mortality and that you're going to die soon, naturally the longing for something deeper than that arises. And that's when spirituality came in for me. From spirituality, I went to living a more purposeful life, a more fulfilling life. And that's when I had the idea to start my YouTube channel. You see how I was always in a state of action in this? I went from, skinny and bullied to, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, build some muscle, action, action, action. I was a different person then. My mindset was not up there. I was just like, okay, just build some muscles, get a little stronger. Cool. Personal development, learn. No bigger picture, no clarity. But this clarity slowly started to come as I progressed. I had more clarity when I was going to the gym than I did when I was a skinny loser doing nothing. I had more clarity when I got into personal development than when I was just going to the gym. I had more clarity when I was into spirituality than when I was at the personal development stage. When I started my YouTube channel, because I started to see that I want to do something that I'm passionate about, share this with people, that's when I got more clarity than I had at spirituality. And all of these are still playing part now. I'm still into personal development, spirituality. It doesn't mean the phase has ended, but that's the predominant phase at that time. So when I started my YouTube channel, I had no idea that this was going to evolve into my business and what I'm going to do full time. I still always had an idea that I'm just going to do an engineering job, 9 to 5, get married, have a couple of kids, and retire. That's life. That's still what my mindset was. I could never fathom that there was more than this to this existence. But I started my YouTube channel anyways. I just didn't know that it would evolve into this. So it always just happened step by step for me. But at that same time, I always visualized, I always did my manifestation work, everything that I teach in the Reality Mastery program, all the systems were in the right place. And that's why it evolved for me. That's why this happened for me. And this YouTube channel eventually led me to having my dream life. So I saw that people were starting to ask me for coaching. I started sharing stuff that I'm passionate about. People started to ask me about coaching. I was like, oh, I never really thought about that. And I saw that other people were doing, were living full time, being coaches, helping other people transform their lives. Why couldn't I? I love to teach. I love to share knowledge. And I love to learn. So eventually one thing led to another. And this is how it happens for most people. One thing leads to another, but this always happens in a period of action. Do you see what's happening here? There's always a striving. There's always some action going on at each and every one of these stages. Even though there are doubts at certain points, the doubts are not me. The character has the doubts. The two selves are at war with each other. The old self wants to survive. The new self wants to survive as well. So when you choose to feed the new self as opposed to the old self, this progression is natural. Always remember that. And eventually this led me to having my dream life being where I am right now. It wasn't in 5 minutes, but in a year or so, I was able to take my goals and turn them into material. And this is all because of the compound effect, having the right systems into place, taking inspiring action. And with that, I conclude this video. So just to recap, understand that great ideas always come from a place of action, whether this be mental, whether this be physical. Remember that there is no difference between mindset and action. Mindset and action are one and the same reality. There is just mindset, or there is just action. You do because you are, not you are because you do. But at the same time, when you do, you get more and more clarity on who you are. So when you do, you are. It's a crazy, conflicted conundrum. But as you experience this more and more, it'll make more sense. Remember that action creates momentum, and this effect eventually compounds. Whenever you have momentum in your life, other doors start to open up for you. You always want to create a good momentum, but don't get too hung up and too attached to it. Create momentum. Understand that action gives you clarity, clarity gives you action. Action gives you mindset, mindset gives you action. This effect is synergistic. Remember that inspired action makes you a slave. Inspiring action makes you a master. If you don't know what your purpose is, do what you do know. Go to your 9 to 5. Do that. But always have a striving for your vision. And expand your comfort zone every single day. Do something you're afraid of. Biggest thing I was afraid of was quitting my 9 to 5 and really taking this full time, even though I didn't have the means back then. But I'm so glad I did. Sometimes you gotta burn the bridges. Sometimes you gotta not put your eggs in one basket. How I evolved was from skinny, bullied loser to going to the gym, getting some muscles, and then getting into personal development and getting into spirituality. Eventually my YouTube channel came about. Boom. Led me to having my dream life, living with my dream partner, traveling, doing everything that I'd always dreamt of. I never even thought this would be possible. If you'd asked me back when I was a skinny, bullied loser, or even when I was at that personal development stage, probably wouldn't have thought it was possible. But now this has become my world, and I want this to be possible for you as well. And I know this is possible for you as well, because I'm helping my clients do this in their lives every single day. So with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I sincerely hope this helped. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. Also, I'd love to see what you thought of this video, if this helped you out. I know this was different. So leave me a comment down below, letting me know what you thought of it. Also, I'm super excited to announce that I'm growing a massive Facebook group where I'll be sharing all of this kind of stuff, and we have a great group of great members. So if you want to take advantage of this Facebook group, make sure you click on the link in the description below to join, and I hope I see you there. Also, I'm super excited to announce that the Reality Mastery program